Welcome to CTV Sports. I'm Dale Schwetz with Jan, Eric, Frank, and we're live. Grand Chevy Polo Club, Santa Rita Polo Farm, and we are on the Aspen Field for continuing action in the limited edition 12 goal. We have both of our teams and umpires on the field ready to go. So Jan, Eric, Frank, take it away.
Thank you very much, and also for me, a very good afternoon. Great to have you with us here on CTV. Let me just, as they will say, introduce you to the two teams. Grand Champions Polo Club, the team in the light blue and white shirts, led by at number one, Artemio Figueres, playing off 0 goal. Then the very talented and young player that is Fran Spinacci, also coming off 0 goals. And then Mr. Heartthrob himself, Nacho Figueres, coming in at number 3, playing off 5 goals. And Tomacho Pierres coming in at number 4, playing off 6 goals. Windswept, led by Harrison Reicher at number 1, playing off 0 goals. Rufino Merlos playing at number 2 of 1 goals. And then Tincho Merlos at number 3 of 7 goals. And Santos Merlos also at number 4 with the matching number of handicap 4. Two umpires, I'd like to very much welcome the one and only Esteban Ferrari. He's back in the saddle here. And, of course, just flown in flesh. He arrived yesterday morning, Pepe Araja are two mounted officials, and of course Mr. Steve Lane, as Dale was just saying, in the studio. Here we go then, balls in play, and it looks like Harrison Reicher will get the first chance with a straight run towards goal. Let's have a look at that clock. Barely 10-15 seconds played, and Harrison Reicher gets windswept off to a cracking start here in this, the first of our 6 chapters.
Yeah, this is great for the windswept team. And get Harrison Reicher, young player here, and this team, once they get him out in front, pulling the team, it adds a dimension, a dynamic to their offensive attack. Everybody behind him, the 3 Merloses, are super strong with the polo ball. This is a perfect start for the windswept team.
So back to the centre they come then, and this time it is Grand Champions Polo Club winning that throw-in. Tomacho Pierres sends a nice long ball over to the left-hand side, looking for Figueres. Artemio not able to do much with it again. Reicher, nice little back shot there, gives the ball back to Santos Merlos. The 2 number 4s battling it out. Tomacho Pierres, as I say, battling it out with Santos. Santos coming out on top, gets the ball over the halfway line. But Tomacho, not giving up lightly, wins the ball back. Now needs to get past the other Merlos, of which Dale just said there are 3. Tincho Merlos with that 7 goals, highest handicap player on the field. Nice little back shot there from the number 4. Santos, but only as far as Tomacho. Tomacho, and when you know, once he gets himself going, another driving force in that team. Nice little pass up to the front door, looking for Artemio to try and seal the deal. This time he gets rewarded with a cracking goal. Figueres picking up the equaliser. It is 1 goal apiece. I beg your pardon, 2 goals to 1 based on that handicap, of course. But the first goal here for Grand Champions.
Yeah, and this is also a perfect way for the Grand Champion Polo team to get going here, is to get Artemio Figueres out in front. Artemio has been the goal-scoring machine for the Grand Champions Polo Club team. He's actually led the team in scoring. Scoring is, I think, a top-high 7 goals in 1 game. So to get him going early, this is great, Jan Erik Frank.
Absolutely it is. And the ball's back in play. So here we go then. And it's going to come down to winning those throw-ins. And at the moment, it looks like it's 2-1 in favour of Windswept. Again, a little pass out to the left-hand side, looking for, finding Santos. He wants to send it back to Rufino. Rufino sends it back to Santos. Round the outside they go. And look at Figueres coming in for the challenge. Once again, it's Santos Merlos trying to find a little bit of a gap there to play that game. Nice long ball from Figueres Senior. Tomacho slightly topping that ball. Oh, what an eye for the ball this young kid has. Incredible. Very much reminds me of myself here. Artemio Figueres, absolutely incredible hand-eye ball coordination. Into the corner, he's pushed by Santos.
Steve, say something on there. Just say
and that ball just going to the sideboards. Again, a little open backhand. So this limited edition 12 goal between these 2 teams, Grand Champions Polo Club in the pale blue and white shirts against Windswept, not wasting any time at all in getting themselves going. Looks like we might have had a little unintentional knock there. Fran Spinacci just going down to the pony lines to make sure that his pony really is okay. He'll have it looked over, might get onto a fresh mount, might stay on it. Now, I've got some very interesting information here. Did you know that Rufino Merlos was actually born in Loxahatchee?
Rufy, yeah, he's American. I love it.
I had no idea.
One of my favorite Americans.
Yeah. And,
if you know what I mean.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, the Roofinator. We named him the Roofinator.
Started playing at the tender age of 6 years old at La Mariana Polo Club. Has won the Potelitos many, many times. Also won the Brian Bethel 8 goal in the UK back in 2022. And also won the inaugural 16-goal tournament at the NPC Wellington and was named MVP for their
I'm a proud uncle.
Are you his uncle?
I feel like I am. Sorry. I just, remember he's the youngest individual ever to co-commentate on Chucker TV. And I'm going to say, just go get on and say, hello, how you doing? My name is the Roofinator. I'm talking about take it over.
Really?
He took it over in Aspen, Colorado at the Aspen Valley Polo Club. Tincho came over, his mom Selena, very close to the family. And Roofinator, he just was really enjoying us being on the mic, and he asked if he could come on, and he came on focused, ready to go. So as strong as he came on the mic, I guarantee this guy is just going to go straight up playing polo. He is a focused kid, very strong on the one wheel, the polo wheel.
Yeah.
And, it's been great to watch him grow. And, of course, Father Tincho and Mama Selena, and also playing with his cousin. Remember, Santos is his cousin.
Yep.
And that's Silvina, and, of course, Stabby Merlos. So the Merlos crew, man, it's great to see the young kids. It's good seeing the family playing together, Yan. It's always fun. And Uncle Tincho and Father Tincho.
Indeed it is, and I'd like to also thank the lovely Sharon Robb, of course, for helping us with our research. She is, as you know, Dale, she's our mamacita, always looking after
Always
us.
mama taking care of us. You got to have somebody watching out for you.
Exactly. So,
the greatest thing is, Jan, she has the ability to take care of you when you're overseas.
Yes.
And me when I'm here in America. So,
yes.
Not a lot of moms that can do that.
So, players are all back on the field. Looks like they're all complete, no injury sustained, and we're going to have a hit from the spot, a penalty 5A in favour of Grand Champions Polo Club. Tomacho Pierres will take this. Took a nice long run up, suggesting he might go for a big shot. Wanted to get a little bit closer. Here comes the big shot I was just talking about. Just puts it slightly to the right-hand side. So no real damage just yet. So as I was saying, Grand Champions Polo Club coming into this cross-bracket limited edition 12-goal game with a team handicap of a total of 11. Windswept as they played 2 days ago with 12. Harris and Reicher coming in off 0, and then the three Merloses together making up that 12 goal with Tincho, of course, the highest player at 7 goals. Ball is back in play over on the far side, and it is said man Tincho Merlos, and things are opening up very nicely here for Windswept. Nice little backhander there, and they're going to have quite a handful to control this Windswept team, this Merlos clan. Tomacho Pierres, of course, and Nacho Figueres instrumental in trying to get that ball and sending it towards Artemio and, of course, Fran Spinacci. But it's once again Senor Tincho Merlos, and another whistle just as he was coming round to take that shot. Now then, what will Esteban Ferrari and Pepe Araja make of that? Was it riding into the swing? Was it a bit of shading, or was it just a traditional right-of-way infringement? Let's see where they place the ball. I can see that one of the players, one of the Merloses, has just quickly gone off to the pony lines to get himself a fresh set of legs. And indeed, it is indeed, as I suggested, a penalty in favour of Windswept. And that is a penalty 3, so an undefended open goal penalty, 40 yards the distance. Let's see who is going to take the first shot on goal to try and get the even score. And there he is coming back out onto the field. Santos Merlos just getting himself a fresh set of legs, and it's going to be Harrison Reicher to try and make it 2 out of 2. Well, he wasn't as lucky as he was in that first goal that he scored very quickly, a matter of, I think, 16, 17 seconds after that first ball had been thrown in. But as Dale will always tell you, it's the closer penalties, the 2s and the 3s, which, of course, on paper and in theory look to be like the simple or the easy ones, but they are the make or break ones, and we saw that here just a few seconds ago. Now then, Figueres riding very hard up against the boards on the halfway line. In comes the first challenge here from Rufino. Still sticking to his man, Tomacho Pierres. And Pepe Araja making his first call of the game. Blocking foul as the man with the number 4, Santos Merlos, had nowhere to go. Let's see where they place that ball. So, after what was a pretty quick and a flying start here now, 1 or 2 interruptions here. Both teams just still sort of sizing each other up, just getting a sense and a feel for the opposition. Grand Champions Polo Club, of course, looking for their first win.
Yeah, so right here on the boards here, you had a pretty interesting little play. You see where they stopped, and then Santos turned around and just met the two players. Now, remember, we've had a lot of talk about this. I mean, Steve, you're sitting here with me. We got the three-man team working today, and Steve can pick up other. Steve, how do you feel about when you have two players at a complete standstill, a third player coming in to steal the ball? I mean, there's no danger involved. I understand when players are moving, but I'm talking about at a dead stop. Maybe that changing over the years. You think that's a possibility or no?
Not really, especially if there's no danger in the outside player pushing that player into the player meeting.
Right, but but we blow it everywhere.
Yeah.
One meeting, two there.
Yeah, we
and
do.
I understand it's a pretty simple one meeting, two.
Well, it's procedural, but is it dangerous?
Right.
So,
Well, think about that, and while you're out there put it on the Facebook conversation or let us know. We always like to do and test, what's happening. We like to press the procedures and rules. Here we go. Big one here by Nacho Figueres. He's been strong on the penalty line.
Yeah, he's hit that one a little bit low, but those low balls can be dangerous. They tend to have a habit of just finding their way through all that traffic, all those legs in front of that goalmouth. This time it just went out to the left-hand side, so no score. Score remains the same. We're down to 1 minute and 40 left to play here in the opening chukker of this limited edition 12-goal cross bracket between Grand Champions Polo Club in the pale blue and white shirts up against Windswept, who took care of business beating Dundas 11 goals to 9 2 days ago. So they'll be looking for, of course, their next win. Grand Champions Polo Club still looking for their first win of this tournament. Tomacho Pieris hammers a fantastic shot under the pony's neck there towards the goalmouth, just shaving the front of that goalmouth, not quite finding the angle he was, but there wasn't much in it there to get that ball through. Always a pleasure to have the one and only Steve Lane right next to me. When in doubt, he tends to know the foul before it even happens. Of course, many, many years of experience, and always able to look at the footage, which we, of course, have not only the state-of-the-art studio, but also here a little mobile unit, which allows us to review the plays. Steve, what are you seeing over there?
Had a right-of-way violation there. Team in blue jumping on the line and the right-of-way, and a player from the red team crossing over in front. So disallowing that run. So it's going to be an open goal penalty number 3 in favor of Grand Champions Polo Club. And Fran Spinacci circling his pony, approaching the ball, taking that penalty shot. And Spinacci showing that he's got blood in his veins, putting it right between the uprights for the team in blue, Grand Champions Polo Club.
And of course, with that score, they extend their lead to 3 goals to 1. 2 now being scored both by the zero goalers, and they're just going to run out of time to get back to the centre for another throw. And so, as I say, 3 goals to 1. That's all she wrote at the end of the first chukker. Make sure you stay with us. We'll be right back for chukker number 2 right here on CTV Sports.
World Polo League, a new breed of polo.
Welcome back to CTV Sports. I'm Dale Schwetz with Jan Edik Frank. We got a triple header going on here for you today. Steve Lane and Jan Edik Frank were on the mic earlier this morning. Remember, tell a friend. That's the best thing you can do for us here at CTV Sports. Tell a friend that we're, everything's on our YouTube channel. As I know I've had a lot of people calling me, and that is our one platform at the moment as we're building it out. Our executive producer, Mike Ferreira, and the whole team in there, always working in the studios here. We have a brand new studio in South Florida. And so everything is on the YouTube. Be Chucker TV, YouTube, or CTV Sports YouTube channel. Tell a friend, please. Text it out. It's on all of our platforms, our GCPolo.com. You can always go there to our Grand Champions page. It'll give you all the information. ChuckerTV.com. And get ready for the WPL triple header today. Make sure you join us at 3:30. Jan Edik Frank and I will be at the Valiente Polo Farm, field number 1. Steve Lane will be working as our IRO/third man for the studios. And we'll have USP umpires working that game. I'm going to work as the third man, so it should be a very interesting game against Tamera and Valiente. Back to the action here in our second chucker of the 2023 Limited Edition 12 goal.
Santos Merlos on the ball as we speak, trying to just avoid getting challenged there from Nacho Figueres. He did very well, leaving both the 5 and the 6 goaler behind. It's a walk in the park, just puts it through. Santos Merlos gets the second goal now for Windswept.
Yeah, Santos, I just saw his brother drive by, and he's been very happy with the way his brother has been playing, and I agree with them. I've watched all those boys grow, Jan, and it's great seeing, every time I look at them now, they're all taller than me, so I'm 6 foot, so I'm like, wow, man, everyone's just popping up, and fun seeing them all play together. They got a lot of cohesiveness.
They do indeed, and they have the ball again once more. Ooh, that was very, very close as he came across, already established on that line to Macho Pierres. How did you see that one, Dale?
Well, he come in here, and we'll get to see a replay on it. So the guy controls the line there, just shut it down, and you got a player coming right across in front. And so we'll get a right-of-way violation. Called 80% of the time in the game, the right-of-way violation. And you can understand it's all about the right-of-way, all about the imaginary line that the ball produces when it's hit at. And that's the highway you need to follow, and you need to make sure that you leave open space for an oncoming player. A player following that right-of-way will always have the line, the right-of-way, over a player meeting the ball or moving from right to left. And look, here comes Fran.
Spinacci on the move with a bit of space to work in, but he's got, as you call him, the Rufino Merlos here, doing a good job in defence, but the ball stops at the feet of Nacho Figueres. He's only got one option to play it to, or, of course, to run it himself. Looks like the attempt to pass it over to Tamacha didn't quite work in his favour, so he tried to run it himself. Santos Merlos sends it back and sends Windswept on their way. Nice little pass over on the far side. Coming in now is Tincho Merlos. In behind, Reicher. Harrison Reicher too far out to reach that ball. Once again with the number 2, Rufino Merlos sends it into the danger zone, but just runs out of polo field.
And there you go, just showing you the power. But I think you're going to get a whistle on the play here as Santos Merlos starts it off with a brilliant back shot. I love seeing those two guys. Rufy, again, he's gotten so big, I thought it was his dad on the far side. Good call on that, Jan Edik Frank. It was Rufino. Well, Rufy, who actually hit the ball down to his dad. Instead, Tincho started to pull the team, which I thought we were going to get the three Merlos combination goal. But then that ball was a dead ball play, and Nacho Figueres had the ball on his right side. Rufy's going to get called in from riding in from behind. You got to go near side there. So penalty 5A, and it's going to be Artemio.
Figueres on the move over on the far side. Gets a bit of support there from Papa Nacho. Oh, he did very well picking up that ball on the near side. Wants to get a little bit of space between him and those sideboards. And before Nacho could get a piece of it, once again, Merlos getting in between. trying to clean up a little bit over on the far corner and about to launch their next offensive play. Again, making a break at the front door is Harrison Reicher. That ball's going to be a little bit short. Nacho Figueres on top of that ball. Yeah, he ran over that. Wasn't quite sure whether to play the near side or the onside. And another whistle will stop the play at 4:32.
Fast and furious, a little faster first half than we had in our earlier game today, as the earlier game was a bit of a defensive battle against two very strong teams. You watch the replay, and it's going to come here, a big hit on the penalty 5A. Fran's going to not going to try to get over the top of it there. It looked like he almost did block him there. Then you get the back shot, but they're going to call that a late whistle. So player falling over the line, and that's just young player. He'll get it figured out. And remember, Fran just getting in from Argentina, him and his father, Pablo Spinacci. And so I've seen Fran actually sticking ball a lot at night, but preparing. And this is, I think, maybe on his first or second game. If I asked Steve, we saw him play earlier, I think in the 8 goal. And, yeah, so second game, so he's just getting it back. Remember, you can't fall over that right of way. And that right of way, as I was talking about earlier, is the biggest part of the game. So you need to make sure you work that out. It happens with a lot of young players. They might take a shot and fall across the right of way. Right there, he was actually moving into a defensive position, but was too close to the right of way. Good sportsmanship there by the windswept player not to take a swing. Here comes Rufa.
Morelos hits it through the center, and Santos tried to pick it up and do something more with it because he could see that ball did not have enough power on it. Ball goes over the back line, and another whistle.
And a little bit of a tough shot. I'm not getting much help from the four-legged athlete there, Rufino, because he has been hammering the penalty shots. And I got to tell you, Jan, earlier, before you arrived in the States, he was 100% from the penalty line. That was on 2 threes, and then they were doing so well. Steve and I actually said, well, I wonder if he can hit a 4 or not. So they received a safety, and his dad called him out of the goal. His dad was going to take it. His dad takes all the long ones. He called him out of the goal. And I don't know, because he heard us talking about it, he went on and hit that one. So it was amazing. He made actually a goal from the 2, 3, and 4 in one game.
Brilliant.
It was a penalty 6.
So we're going to have a hit from the spot of 5A. Penalty 2. Ball goes through. No mistake. Morelos picks up another one. Penalty 2 from the spot. Okay, that makes sense.
And a good move here. So you can watch the horse. You see the horse that Rufy's playing right now. See, it's got a little energy. Not an easy one to hit a penalty shot off of, so he passes his stick over to his dad. And if Ticho didn't like the four-legged athlete he was on, they'll pass the stick to Santos. And I bet Harrison can hit him because this kid is well-rounded. So it's a well-rounded team, a lot of fun to watch. And they're going to get the equalizer here with 3:45 on the clock.
And the ball is back in play, and it's picked up by Tomacho Pierres. That ball also running a little bit out of steam. Once again, coming straight through the center was Tincho Morelos. Now, of course, they've changed ends. Red now playing from left to right, which is from north to south. And Grand Champions Polo Club, of course, playing from south to north. Again, good save here on the back line by Tincho Morelos. Dodging a big bullet. That ball coming across the field. Oops!
We're here at the Santa Rita Polo Farm where the PTF Polo ASSN Junior Tournament is being held for the first time ever at this location. And I mean, could you get a more beautiful venue? Probably not. The tournament includes players of all ages, starting with the youngest at just 2 years old and the oldest at 20 years old. So you've got all ages, all skill levels, and a whole lot of fun. Let's go check it out.
It reminds me of my days when I was in that position playing the kids tournament, and for us it it meant the world. So I'm very happy to be here supporting my son and other kids as well, because I think they really enjoy this, and for them it's even more important than for us probably playing the 26 or the 22.
Well, that's a wrap on the PTF Polo ASSN Juniors Tournament at the Santa Rita Polo Farm. So much incredible talent coming up through the ranks. The future is certainly bright for the sport of polo. Now, for more information on the PTF, head to polotraining.org. And of course, head to Chucker TV for all of our awesome content, including full game broadcasts.
I am Nick Weaver. I am the co-founder and COO of Blue Delta Gene Co. I've probably measured over 30,000 butts, 7 feet tall and 7 feet wide. Doesn't matter. It is fun making people happy. When you make a garment that fits, that's one thing. When you make a garment fit and look good, that's another thing. And we are very good at the latter. We have grown our company by taking care of people. We have grown by making jeans that fit. There are some things that will never change: where it's made, how it's made, and who's making them. Every jean is one of one. But now we can get you measured from anywhere in the world. We have rolled out a virtual tailor system, blown away with the technology. It's unbelievable how accurate it is. It's a quick, easy, touchless way so we can get the measurements to make you a pair of damn good jeans.
Hi, I'm Tomacho Pérez.
Hello, I'm Nacho Figueras.
Hello, I'm Martín Muñoz.
I'm Gonzalito Pérez.
I'm Alejandro Novillo Estrada.
Hello, I'm Nacho Novillo Estrada. I make goals and here back in Aspen.
Okay, so just a little bit of a slip there, one of the 4 late athletes, and Rufino Merlos. But we got to talk to Cacho Merlos, his grandfather, actually, and everyone, his mom, they were all out there just checking him out. He was okay, though. He kind of rolled his wrist a little bit. He is the number 2. This is him right here, so we'll see if it affects his game or not. But thank you for your patience there, as they were just on. With safety always first as the medics were on the field. We're going to be tied up here in the second chukker with 2:20 on the clock. Dale Schwetz, Jan Frank.
Thank you very much, yes, good to see that Rufino is back in the saddle, and let's hope he is able to play on without any major repercussions of that little slip. Because we have seen a very fast and furious first chukker, as you would say, Dale, running and gunning. And there he is once again on the ball. Rufino Merlos not able to make contact with that ball. So, as you said, Dale, maybe that wrist just a little bit swollen or a little bit sore, but definitely very brave and very, very strong to come back here. And Merlos once again on the move. This is a good little run through or round the back here by Santos Merlos. Eventually, it was just too many defenders by Grand Champions Polo Club that stopped that offensive. And another whistle will stop the clock with 1:33 left to play here in chukker number 2.
Yeah, round and round they go, and you're just going to get the right-of-way violation once again. And it's just a young play move once again. Harris Reicher trying to make a too quick of a turn there after he went by the ball, which you can't really get on the kid for that because that's just great riding. He just turned the horse too quick across the right-of-way with another player coming behind him. But you got to applaud the hustle of number 1 in the maroon jerseys. And away we go. And you know who that is. That's my man Artemio.
Figueres over on the far side, not able to put another touch on that one. He got a near side backhand, and that was from the defender, from the slightly injured player. So he seems to be okay. That is good news. An extension there by Santos Merlos also. In comes on the near side, but did that window close on Tomacho or for Tomacho Pierres? We have a whistler with 109.
Yeah, this is, sometimes they'll let this play go, but that's just too close. You know, you got 2 high goal players going to one ball. You definitely have a lesser angle going to Tomacho Pierres in the blue jersey. And then Ticho Merlos comes from right to left, goes near side, but falls across the right of way. And Tomacho, being the experienced player he is, he's definitely going to close the window, as we say, close the gap, the distance between himself and Ticho's rear end of his pony. And remember, 2 horse lengths, what they're looking for out here. But you'll see it get a little closer in some of our World Polo League based on the ability of the horses and players. Nobody going anywhere, no possession of the ball, so they're going to drop this one at the penalty 5A, and it's going to be Pierres.
Tomacho. Daisy cutter, but it's got a lot of length on it. Looking for Nacho Figueres, beaten to it once again by Tincho. Tincho Merlos picking up the ball deep in his own half, just taking the pace out a little bit. We're under 1 minute left to play now here in chukker number 2. And despite that little slip and slide that we had earlier in the chukker, it's definitely not lost any momentum of this game. Both teams still running and gunning. Nice, open, flowy game, and also I think relatively low on the foul so far. Be looking forward to getting those stats, of course, which will be coming your way. Dale will bring those to you in the halftime interval, so make sure you stick around for that. And there you might have heard in the background is the first horn, indicating now just a little under 30 seconds left to play here in Chukka number 2. And will we see another goal coming through here for Grand Champions Polo Club? Figueres trying to find a little gap to try and clear it, wasn't able to do so, and that of course will be Tincho Munoz making the most of that little gap that was not closed by Grand Champions. And with that we come to the end of Chukka number 2. Make sure you join us here on CTV Sports when we come back for the final Chukka of the first half.
There's something about when you get up early, prep the plane, and you take off, and you get that first light of day, and the air is crystal smooth. You can see forever. You have to have the right aircraft for the right flight with the right crew up front. Only NetJets can do this. The flight dissolves into the background. It should just be the here and now.
Third Chukka action. CTV Sport, Dale Switch, Janetic Frank, Santa Rita Polo Farm, the Aspen Field today. And remember, join us at 3:30. Tell a friend, as we'll be going back to the 18 to 22 goal 2023 Sterling Cup semifinal number 2. Congratulations to Scone winning yesterday. I had a lot of people, Steve and Yan and Mike and all the Chukka TV fam, or the Chukka TV, CTV family. A lot of people call me, man. Very excited about the high goal. We love the medium and the low. Of course, remember, here at CTV Sports, we cover all the polo from 6 goals to 26 goals. And, of course, the Women's League, our WCT, which I am a big fan of. And you can also come down and check that out every Wednesday. Julio Escuda works as our umpire for that. And we use one umpire, and they play 4 or 5 chuckers a game, I believe. And we have a lot of ladies playing, actually the ladies being the strongest providers in the United States Polo Association over the last 5 years. Yeah, looks like they're back for the third chucker of play.
Absolutely, and it's just one goal. It was just one goal in it at the moment, 4 goals to 3, and at the moment it's 3 goals to, well, it was 3 goals to 0 in that last chucker, so 3 unanswered goals by Grand Champions Polo Club. It was Tincho Munoz hitting the target twice, as did Santos. And they're on the move once again here, the team in red. Remember, Rufino, Tincho, Santos, Munoz making up number 2, 3, and 4. And Harrison Reicher, the first man to score. And he might be on course for a second goal here after that ball came exactly where he wanted it. We have a bit of a deja vu. This is how he scored in the opening minutes of the first chucker. And Harrison Reicher makes no mistake and picks up his second goal of the match.
Yeah, you cannot let the number 1 in the maroon shirt get loose, as he will score. He'll run coast to coast, no problem. We saw Harrison Reicher play early this season as the CTV Sports covered the PTF, the Polo Training Foundation, It's always a special day for us here at CTV Sports, especially Melissa Gansey, being the chairman, president of the PTF. And it's a big honor. She loves all that. And it's great seeing all of the young junior players playing from lead line all the way up to running and gunning. Looks like you get back to the center here. It's going to be Artemio, and he's going to leave it now for, running the corner. It's going to be picked up, and it looks like Camacho Pierres, he needs to put that one back to the center. Nobody home, and turned around closely and picked up here now by Tincho.
Yeah, it was a little bit too far out there for Nacho. Nacho saw it coming. It was a clever idea, but he was just too far away to pick up that ball. And now, of course, this is a chance for a breakaway here for Santos Merlos and his team, Windswept, on the halfway line. Nacho Figueres stops, turns, has a little look. Where is Tomacho? There he is. There's the pass. Perfect pass from Nacho Figueres. But he's going to take the man first, then the ball. Here comes the under the neck shot. Nicely taken, but is it straight? Oh, how unlucky. Just over to the left-hand side. But a great combination here between Nacho Figueres and Tomacho Pierres.
Yeah, and if you want a textbook way to play the game of polo, I see Steve Lane over here shaking his head. That's textbook. Man, line, then the ball. Win your man every time. 9 times out of 10, it doesn't matter how wide you need to push them. They'll push you either back to the ball or you go to the ball. Once you secure your man, you secure the right of way and then the ball. And that ball was just off to the side and on the breakaway. It's going to be taken forward here now by Tincho.
Merlos gets it over the halfway line, but it's straight away sent back here by Tomacho. Tomacho finding Figueres Jr., and he has got Figueres Sr. right behind to lend him a helping hand. Nice little combination play once again. Figueres to Figueres, a little cut shot, or what will he play? The backhand, he's going to go for the near side backhand, a little deflection. He knew that Nacho was there, but the ball just did not come through. And again, Dell, great pace here, but we saw that from Windswept 2 days ago when they took on Dundas.
Great passing going on there, yeah. Back and forth. You know, the one thing you got to watch out for here is this Grand Champions team. They've left the ball down inside the 40-yard line twice instead of shooting the ball. And I'm more of a fan of shooting the ball and giving a knock in and missing the goal than backing it across the goal and leaving it there, because 9 times out of 10, the defensive team wins that play, and then you have a 4-on-3. So they have been controlling the pace down here inside the 60. They just can't put it between the 24 yards, 8-foot opposed, and here it comes, Windswept.
On the move once again, just trying to avoid that first challenge. And there is a long losted shot, and guess who's at the front door? He's already scored twice. Can he make it 3 in this first half? Harrison Reicher centers it nicely, or has he overcooked it? Just a little touch. Yeah, he just tried to keep it in play, but he just ran out of field. Very unlucky. But again, a great combination here by Windswept.
Yeah, a brilliant run here by young Harrison Reicher. I love the approach shot here. Always to the far post. Remember, you always want to hit to the far post. And that way, when you can belly out to the left side, then you're either in a cut shot or a tap shot instead of the neck shot. Sometimes you just can't do it, so you got to go near post. Also, to give a lot of people, to help out a lot of number ones and number twos, what I learned from Carlos Gracida and Memo Gracida when I was a 2-3 goal player was always go to the center early. So from 150 yards out, 300 yards is the polo field. Center's 150 yards out. And once you get to that 150 and you're on the boards, go early to the center. All the best players in the world, you notice, they don't go to the coffin corner. They hit to the center early, and then they decide whether they need to go for the cut shot or the neck shot. And if they're close enough and they can get it with inside the 30 or 40, then usually it's an easy goal. So, you know, these guys are young players, and it's amazing to see how adapted they are. But when you look to your right over there, you see the former Tango player, Sebastian Merlos, whose son is playing out there today. Coach, you know, I'm good to see you, Stevie. As always, my brother. And, you got more goals down there. Well, Daddy was here. We just, we said Cacho Merlos walked by. We got Cacho Merlos. We got Stevie Merlos, Tincho on the field. I mean, I think like 50 goals of Merloses here at the Santa Rita Polo Farm today.
And with that courtesy change, the players are coming back out onto the field. All of Grand Champions are ready to continue in this game. Remember, they're looking for their first win at the moment. Things are not going their way. It has to be said, wind swept are really sweeping up things here nicely with the three Monoses, and of course Harrison Reicher having scored twice alongside Tincho Molos, and we saw two cracking goals here in the opening chukker from Artemio Figueres and Fran Spinacci. And I remember Dale last year when I was here, I mean, that kid was just, oozing.
Yeah, I'm just going to tell you, Fran's just getting going, yeah. And like you said, you just returned, and you know how it is early. You got to get your rhythm. Also, Fran, here's one thing you got to remember about Fran Spinacci. Fran rides probably about 30 different horses during the season because he plays on so many different teams. And his father works for the Santa Rita breeding operation and also plays a professional polo for the Grand Champions Polo Club and our sister club, the Aspen Valley Club. So this kid can jump on anything, and he has to be prepared to ride different horses. And, of course, if you're riding the same horses all the time, it makes it a bit easier. But he does a phenomenal job, and he's a little dude still. He's growing daily.
And a very, very competent horseman, of course, having the opportunity to ride so many horses will make you.
It's amazing that he just has the ability to adapt to the horse quick enough. Gonzalo Pierre once said, the good players are the players that can jump on any horse, and with on being on that horse 2 minutes, they know exactly what they need to do to make that horse play better.
That is indeed the case. So it is here, but once again, Reicher trying to do something with that. It's going to be left for Nacho Figueres now. Nacho, as Tamacho tries to clear the way for him. Tincho will pick this one up, surrounded, or incoming from the stick side. It was Tomacho Pierres. There's a long-distance shot on goal coming from Santos. Yeah, not much in it. Just puts it wide, maybe a foot, maybe a yard and a half. And that would have gone through. So a little bit unlucky there. So again, Grand Champions dodging a bullet. We're under 2 minutes left to play here in the first half.
Yeah, I thought Santos might have taken and went back around to the left side. He had some room, but here it's the end of the chukker and end of the first half. So they've been rocking and rolling. And we're going to get a whistle on the play there as Santos is going to jump on the right-of-way. Remember what I said earlier, the player following the ball is always going to have the right-of-way over a player moving towards the ball. And in this case, that ball goes just past Santo Merlos' boot. You can see how he put his mallet in the air. I've had, a lot of our new fans ask me about the mallet in the air, and that's just appealing. And when you call, you're allowed to appeal on the field, and a lot of it is just to help the umpires to say, hey, look, I'm on this line. You're not allowed to twirl your mallet around your head as a windmill, they call that, just because of danger of possibly hitting another player in the vicinity of your mallet. And, of course, you must be in control of your mallet 100% of the time on the polo field. So just because you take a shot, you must be careful of your follow-through on the front foreshot or the back shot. With 1:38 on the clock, Tincho's going to get an opportunity here at about 100 yards out.
He'll be looking for his third goal of the match, so be prepared for a long, long shot. It is definitely long, and it's still in play. It's right in. Yeah, it was a great save, but it was in the danger zone, and there was, again, not much in it there to get that one through the upright, so a little bit unlucky there. So that hat-trick still evading Tincho Merlos. A little over a minute left to play now here. Here in chukker number 3. Ball comes out. Oh, caught wrong-footed. Harrison Reicher will be thinking, thank you very much. I'll have a piece of that, if you don't mind. Again, Merlos on the near side. Just needs to follow through nice and calmly, and he does. No mistake. And there it is, that third goal for Tincho Merlos.
Man, that ball they hit earlier, Jan, that ball had eyes. Actually, that was a brilliant save by Tomacho Pierres, because that ball was just about knee-high, going about 100 miles an hour. I don't know how they do it sometimes. Tomacho stopped that ball and actually had a game-saving save there. And then he went the other way, and Tincho brought it back for another goal.
So as the players leave the field, the last two chukkers, 5 unanswered goals by Grand Champions Polo Club. And I make sure before you go and get yourself a fresh cup of coffee to stay tuned, because Dale, I believe you have the stats.
Thank you, Yan, as always. Okay, here we go. 6-3 on the stats. And my favorite part of this is always the shots on goal, and it makes sense today. 9 shots compared to 5 shots in the first half here for the windswept team over the Grand Champion pole team, and that means a lot. Remember, that's the attempts. Knock-ins, pretty much the same. Both teams have missed 3 goals, so 3 knock-ins for each team. On the throw-ins, 4 and 4, perfectly even. Then you have the fouls committed, and what's interesting is windswept has the advantage right now, but they actually fouled 5 times, and the Grand Champion Polo Club's only fouled twice. So congratulations to the Grand Champion Polo Club. That was a very clean first half. Only 1 goal scored from the penalty line, though, so that doesn't really hurt us. I think if you notice, Harrison Reicher, they've used him out in front. I believe he's got 3 goals down the first half. When you get the young polo stars like that pulling the team, then it lines out, and you can tell by the score. Stay with us here for the rest of our halftime. We'll be back for our second half. Dale Schwetz and Jan Erik Frank with CTV Sports. Stay with us.
My name is Augustine Malman. I am a chef. I trained with my uncle in Argentina in several restaurants, and now I travel the world creating unique experiences, all cooked with fire. For this event, we came from California. My team and I had some previous events there, and we traveled with my wood oven trailer and all of our grills from Santa Barbara, California. Well, when we got here, we always arrive about a week prior to the event. There's several things that we order from out of town, like the firewood. We make reservations of all of the rental items, kitchen equipment, anything we need prior to our arrival is already reserved. And then once we arrive into town, we'll source out whatever products are on the menu, like fish, red meats, fruit, vegetable, anything that we need specifically for that menu that we chose. We will source it once we get in town. My team is everything. I mean, I always tell them and to my clients, without a good team, you can't execute these kind of dinners. It takes a lot more work than what people see when they show up to the events. It takes, like I said, sometimes weeks to prepare for an event like this because we're traveling from out of town, so we have to source everything we're not familiar with. The new barn is, we're here. This is the first dinner we're doing here, so we're very excited to be here. It's amazing. It's a great place to be, and it has this inner courtyard, which is amazing to do dinners, with a special area back here behind me to do all of our grilling and the fire showcase. So it's great to be here. It's a beautiful place. Very different being up in the mountains, but I feel with Melissa and Mark and all the events we do together, I feel like it's home. We've been cooking for them for about 4 or 5 years now. But as far as showcasing what we want to showcase and being in an incredible place like Aspen Valley Polo Club, that's no difference to Wellington. It's a beautiful place up here. It's going to be a 4-course seated meal. As the first course, we have a halloumi cheese that we sear on our fire plancha with shrimp, pine nut gremolata sauce on top. The second course seated will be a roasted beetroot salad with goat cheese and arugula, lemon zest and olive oil. And then the main course tonight will be a mashed potato, sweet potato puree with skirt steak and chimichurri sauce. My name is Augustine Malman, and we are in Aspen Valley Polo Club, one of the most beautiful places to do an outdoor fire dinner experience.
Welcome back, everybody. Back at the Santa Rita Polo Farm. Check the backdrops. The sun's always shining at the Santa Rita Polo Farm. And looks like we got Pepe Raja on his horse. Pepe, yeah, ready to go. We're ready, my man. And looks like Estevan signing autographs down there. He is a movie star. Oh, Estevan Ferrari. We call him our movie star umpire. We love him. And he's Hollywood, Esteban, Mr. Hollywood. And, we are live. And he's done an amazing job over the last, let me see, Steve, five years have been with us, 4 years? 5 doing now, Gaston Dorniak on our top umpires. And it's great having Pepe here coming in. That's great. And, of course, for the famous Raja family. And actually, we talked about his brother Ben Amin being the youngest player, and his father. His father and his brother won the Argentine Open together. And Pepe himself used to play back. Well, I remember playing against Pepe. We played back in the day when Palm Beach Polo was before the Grand Champions years. And look at a big smile on his face. I remember when he used to play with the Pegaso team and Marty Gruss. What a guy. I love him to death. I miss him, man. Yeah, Pegasus. They call him Pegaso in Spanish, Stefadina. Yeah, it's Pegasus. And his brother and him were superstars, boy. But I remember watching video of Ben Amin when he played in the Open. And, of course, Proto Cambiaso beat his record, Adolfo and Proto. They're the only two father-son combinations to ever win the Argentine Open. And so it's a thrill to have Pepe here and representing his family. And a big shout-out to his father and his brother, Ben Amin. I had the opportunity to play a lot against Ben Amin when he was 10 goals. And what a guy. And also congratulations to Ben Amin being the coach of Team Spain that won the FIP this year. And we learned from Pepe yesterday that he's actually coached that team for many years. So congratulations to him. Coaches are becoming such a huge part of the game of polo. And as Steve Lane was talking about this morning, well, it seems like Chucker TV, CTV Sports, is becoming a coach also, because we have had more players come up to us this season, which you can't knock the smile off our faces when you do. But when you have players that are playing competitive polo come up and say that they are actually learning more about the game than beginners, and then the pro players are saying, hey, we're using the broadcast to coach our teams to prepare for the next game, and that's what it's all about. So, Alyssa Gansey, the brainchild, Mike Ferreira, our executive producer, and a great team of videographers that work everywhere, from the center of the field, end zone cameras, of course, our drone pilots, and everyone in the studio. It is a team to put on a broadcast, and we're a happy family. So thank you for joining us on CTV Sports, and stay with us today for 3:30. Remember, second semifinal number 2, Valiente against Temeta, coming to you live from the Valiente Field, Polo Farm Field number 1, and it'll be live 3:30 Eastern Standard Time here on CTV Sports. Yannick, Frank, looks like we've got everyone back on the field for our second half of polo.
So we do. And let's get on with the second half. Thank you very much, Dell. I love listening to all those lovely anecdotes and stories. And the good thing about Steve, he's not just a pretty face, is he? He really isn't, So, welcome
Don't
back.
tell everybody, because a lot of people don't see us that much. So.
No, exactly. So, welcome back, everybody. Here we go, then. Pepe Araja throwing in the ball to get the second half underway. If you've just joined us, a very warm welcome and a good afternoon to you. We are, of course, at Grand Champions Polo Club at Santa Rita on the Aspen Field. And 7:24, so 6 seconds played. Ball was thrown in, and we have our first whistle of the second half.
Yeah, so that'll stop the action. And remember, when we left the first half, the windswept team scored 5 unanswered goals in 2 chukkers, Jan. 3 in the second chukker and 2 in the third chukker. And now they're going to get an opportunity to control the power polo play here from the center on the 5A, and it's going to be Santos.
Merlos to tap the ball into play. Let's see if Artemio Figueres, if he can, he put his door down, and he did very well. And it looked like Fran Spinacci had a little bit of an uncomfortable bump there, but did very well to stay in the saddle. And that, of course, is where those 30 horses pay the dividend.
Hey, he's a good rider. I told you, he's a good little rider. Don't worry. He can handle it. But it did look like just miscommunication there with Nacho. But they're going to take this one back. Tamacho's going to fire Artemio. Oh, he almost gets it online, but controlled by Tamacho.
Perez finds himself in a little bit of a sticky situation there, but he's got Nacho Figueres to help him out. He did well untangling that little knob. He's got to be careful. He's got a man on. None other than, and he seems to be right back as he was at the beginning. Nice long ball now for Harrison Reicher. Reicher opens his shoulders. Yeah, should have maybe teed it up and gotten a little bit closer. And that will be an easy pickings here. Easy pickings for Artemio Figueres. Harrison Rice should have maybe just taken a bit more time to take the ball round as opposed to try and, slam it out.
Tough, but that's superpower polo play right there. The Grasitas, that was one of their top-notch plays, and I'm sure Cacho down there smiling. Hit the ball down there, Yan, see if they make a mistake. They lined out perfectly here because Nacho starts it off, and then great communication between him and Tamacho. Tamacho called him off of that ball and then just drove it down the field 120, where Artemio's smart enough just to wait to see if he misses, and then Artemio with the perfect finish.
Back to the centre we go. Ball's back in play. So an important and a much-needed goal from Grand Champions Polo Club, but you can see very quickly on the move once again. Powerful hook there, but he turned it on a sixpence. Tamacho Pierres regains possession. Now just needs to have his troops come up there with him. He gets the call. There is the pass. What a call and what a pass. Slightly too bendy there for the young Franz Finacci to get underneath that, but the idea was definitely very clever. As they stop and turn. Yeah, a little bit of space needs to be given. A lot of space. And now these, of course, are the plays that Harrison Reicher very much likes. There is the cut shot. Didn't cut it fine enough. Once again, Tincho Merlos will keep this ball in play. Good first touch. Tincho Merlos, and a deflection, but he manages to keep the ball in play. So he's going to go for a lap of honour. Taking the ball round once more, and on the second attempt, he gets a hook from, I believe that was Nacho Figueres. And look at them, all four Grand Champions Polo Club players now on or coming out of the starting blocks. Very, very strong. There is the long drive up and towards that halfway line. A little bit of a mistake there, not able to control it. And that's one of those cases, Dale, where we just had to let that play unfold for what you would call a slow or a late whistle.
Yeah, you said it, Yan. On the late whistle there, as you got to let plays develop. I mean, it just sometimes, in the game of polo, and that's why we use the term the non-call. And actually, the top umpires in the world, Yan, believe it or not, are not classified on how they blow the fouls. It's actually how they do not blow the fouls. It's the plays they allow to go on, which is the non-call. And listen, this goes on in all sports. It goes on in soccer. It goes on in football. It goes on in basketball a lot. Hockey. Everybody uses the non-call, and the best officials in the world are the ones that have the ability, split-second timing. Remember, you only have split-second timing to know whether it's a foul or not. That's going to give the 60-yard penalty for. Here comes Tamacho Pierres.
To try and bring it within one goal. They currently trail by 2. It's 4-6 in favor of Windswept. And they defended that very nicely, and they have possession. But how long for? Because the Grand Champions Polo Club seems to be getting stronger and stronger here now, also in this second half. We are in Chukka number 4. We still have a good 4 minutes, or just under now, 4 minutes left to play. Reicher gets the call from the second line to take it on the near side. He did very well indeed. Harrison Reicher, and that is composure, and that is elegance at its finest. Harrison Reicher picking up his hat-trick here in Chukka number 4.
Yeah, another one. Good run here by Reicher. This has been a huge part of their game. I mean, 3 goals by Reicher, 3 by Tincho, and then 1 by Santos. And once again, the Rufinator, Ruffino in the middle, working very hard. It seems like he bounced back after his little spill perfectly. He does not seem like he's lost a bit of energy. And that's going to push it to 7-4 as we get into our courtesy change here with 3:14 on the clock in our 4th chukker of play. We started out, 1 goal on the handicap. We had an 11-goal team, we had a 12-goal team with Franz Spinacci on the team. And then they scored 2 goals. So there was 3-1 after the first chukker. The Grand Champion Polo Club team over Windswept. Grand Champion in the blue, Windswept in the maroon. Then 3 unanswered goals in the second, 2 by Tincho, one on the penalty line, 1 from the field, and another one by Santos. And that made it 4-3. And then 2 more unanswered goals by Windswept in the third. Another one by Harrison Reicher. I said he had a hat trick during my breakdown. I apologize, but he had 2 goals. Now he has his I'm clairvoyant, so I can see those things coming. Or that's what Jan says, anyways. And so then Tincho. So they just been, they're mixing it up really well here. And, you got to give credit where credit is due. And a lot's going to Rufino in the middle, causing the commotion, as we say, making the hooks and the bumps and trying to keep control of the big guns. And that's Nacho Figueres and Camacho Pierres. So let's see how the role players are getting it done today. So let's see how they handle this last 2.5 chuckers.
Ball back in play. Here we go then. 7-4. Once again coming out on top with that throw in. And as we said, so key. Rufino Merlos leaves that one now for Santos. Santos still leading that ball nicely. Harrison Reicher just at the front there, completely left to his own devices. Now he's been taken care of by Camacho Pierres because he understands how dangerous that young player, that 0-goal player, is in front of goal, as I said, having also scored 3 goals. So 2 players with a hat-trick, Harrison Reicher and Tincho Merlos, and that ball just goes over the back line.
So knock-in coming, and this has been, one of the issues was the shots on goal, as their percentages were a little bit lower, even though they're winning, so that's not hurting them at the moment. But here's a broken play, and who's going to get around quickly? Oh, you got to watch out there, Santos. That's a tough one to get away with. As you know, remember, 9 times out of 10, it's easier for that man to make a hook when a player's running by on the near side. On the far side, down the boards, it'll get controlled by Tincho. They'll keep that ball on the boards, a very safe play. And it's better to keep that ball on the boards when it's right on the board, because if you go for a tail shot there, it comes across the field. Again, 9 times out of 10, the opposing team will get it going. But inside the 60, inside the 40, Nacho Figueres working the magic and looking for a penalty. And I think he might get it on the blocking foul. And yes, that's going to stop the clock on the whistle here, Jan. So we are going to get a right-of-way violation. So a super strong play by number 3 in the blue jersey. And looks like they're going to have a open goal penalty 2 from the spot. That ball looks like it's about 5 yards out. So it'll be Artemio Figueres to do the honors. And he takes all the penalties, so the 2s and 3s. So this is going to be an easier one for him and another one for Artemio.
And that also makes him the 3rd player now, Dale, with a hat-trick. You remember he scored in the first chukker, and now twice in chukker number 4. And a very important and a much-needed goal here by Grand Champions Polo Club, closing the gap down to just 2 goals, 7-5. But I think it's fair to say Windswept still very much in control and in command of this game.
Yeah, no, at the moment it seems like that, but these are a great way to start off the second half coming out. Remember, when you go 2 chukkers with no goals, Jan, you start scratching your head. I mean, that means you're not getting any opportunities, and they have turned up the heat right now. Here comes Camacho.
Pierres once again with a nice long drive out to the right-hand side, slams on the brake. Figueres Jr. tries to center it. In comes Nacho to try and pick it up and do something with it. Ooh, super close there, but great combination.
Yeah, and I got to give the momentum back to the blue here now, Jan. I know we said we still have control by Windswept, but the momentum here in the 4 chukker is definitely going towards the Grand Champions Polo Club. And, sometimes it doesn't make a difference, but they are getting a lot of action off the bowling. And we've seen teams win every bowling and actually lose every bowling and win games. But in this case, they're doing well. Look at Fran.
Spinacci on the move. Finds a nice bit of space to work with. Sends it up to his teammate. Figueres. There is the horn. Yeah, he tried to get that one on the near side, but the horse was going over to the right. The ball was on the left, so not an easy one to do. Figueres. Yeah.
Ooh, clean play here, too. Yeah, a little bad luck here. Santos needs to get there earlier. You have Nacho Figueres with the lesser angle coming down on the offside. Santos is going to come from right to left, but he's going to come in there late as he rides over the top of the ball. Now, if you can go in there from the side, which I believe, and I think Steve will agree with, probably the toughest play in polo, to come in from the side exactly and ride underneath the shot. You cannot ride in from behind or from in the front and ride over the top of the ball. And then a great sportsmanship play there by Nacho Figueres to slow his swing down so he did not endanger Santos or Santos's mount.
So, that, of course, brings us to the end of that chukker. So, 2-1 in favour of Grand Champions Polo Club. Make sure you stay with us here on CTV Sports. 2 more chukkers coming up here in the limited edition 12 Gold 2023 when we come back.
I am Nick Weaver. I am the co-founder and COO of Blue Delta Jinko. I probably measured over 30,000 butts, 7 feet tall and 7 feet wide. Doesn't matter. It is fun making people happy. When you make a garment that fits, that's one thing. When you make a garment fit and look good, that's another thing. And we are very good at the latter. We have grown our company by taking care of people. We have grown by making jeans that fit. There are some things that will never change. Where it's made, how it's made, and who's making them. Every jean is one of one. But now we can get you measured from anywhere in the world. We have rolled out a virtual tailor system, blown away with the technology. It's unbelievable how accurate it is. It's a quick, easy, touchless way so we can get the measurements to make you a pair of damn good jeans.
All right, welcome back, everybody, and is ready for the 5th chukker. We're all ready to go here. And it looks like we are going to get a penalty shot here by, well, my man Artemio Figueres. Man, that kid's got ice in his veins, Jan, Eric Frank.
He does indeed, and with that, of course, picking up his goal number 4, Dale, which, of course, now makes him the leading goal scorer in this limited edition 12 goal.
Yeah, loves to pull the team. Super strong rider. Also very dedicated. We talked about Spinacci. Well, all of them are. Spinacci. Fran. And I get the clock there. I'll check out it. Just a clock check there. As it looks like they got everything going there. And it's going to be picked up here by Ticho.
Merlos immediately has a little bit of traffic in the form of Tomacho Pierres. Trying to outplay and take it round the outside there of Figueres to try and feed the ball back up to Harrison Reich. It didn't quite come through. Nacho Figueres coming in, putting his stick down. Oh, that was, I'm sure, unintentional as he tried to send that one over to Franz Spinacci. Actually bounced off the back of his pony. Figueres still with possession. There is the drive. Now looking for Artemio Figueres, but he's going to be beaten, but only ever so slightly, by Tinchel Merlos. Santos now on the ball. Takes it over to the boards. Ball will come back. Bounce off. Artemio knows that, of course. Tincho sends it across the field, looking for Rufino. Stops. Changes the direction. Nicely done. Looking for cousin Santos. Santos obviously looking to see where is Harrison. I couldn't control it. And once again, Franz Spinacci, the last man in defence, puts it or takes it out into the corner. Anything but just away from that danger zone. Oh, yes, he just avoided the hook there. That's a nice pass coming from Tomacho. And, again, just beaten to it as Fran Spinacci was coming down the line and pick up receive that pass. Little backhander. Once again from Tincho. Santos just taking the pace out ever so slightly. Nice flow going on at the moment in this game. Good interception here by Figueres. Figueres now, he's got, a man in front and a man behind, but not with the right colour. He did that very cleverly, leaving that one for Tomacho Pierres. This time he's going to have to run this one himself, so the two number 4s battling it out. Hard bump and a ride-off. Again, Merlos. Has he done enough for the moment? He has, but even Tincho now getting a challenge from one of the two youngsters out there. Yeah. Well, you got to laugh, haven't you?
Yeah, sometimes it looks like a beach ball. And when the ball looks like a beach ball, that's when you don't want to go for it. When the ball looks bigger than it usually is, then don't go for it. He'll learn it. He's just sneaking in front there. Now, listen, don't get me wrong. On a play where a player shuts down, stops, you can run by him and take the ball. But when a player tries to avoid your ride-off, and in this case, Santos got too far in front of him, so he had to stop early because his horse's head was over. Then Santos went for the ride-off, and he's completely across 90, so now he can't go to the ball. So Santos got to be a little more composed there. Just kind of let him go to that ball. I mean, really, think about it. You're in the corner, so just let him get the ball, then go to him. Yeah. And just be a little more composed because they're going to bring this ball out to the 60. And you're going to get a goal shot penalty every time. Now, no, he could have gone 3 here if they wanted to, but they're going to go back to the 60, either or. He did have a shot on goal and a back shot. It would have been pretty close to the board, so not an easy shot with 6 other players in the vicinity of the goal. So they'll bring it out for the 60-yard marker with 4:24 on the clock, a 1-goal difference, opportunity at the equalizer, and it's going to be Tamacho.
Pierres slams that one high in the sky. It's straight through. He'll be happy with that. And there is the equalizer. So, Tomacho Pierres now also picking up his first score, believe it or not, Dale, of this game. And a very important score, if that, because as you said, there is the equalizer, 7 apiece, and we're only in the 5th chukker.
Yeah, no, you said it. You said it's only 1 goal, but, one of the biggest goal of the day because, man, this has been a big turnaround here in this limited edition 12-goal game as the first half owned by Windswept, but so far the second half owned by Grand Champions Polo Club. We're going to get a little bit of a blocking foul here on the bowling, on the scrum. And so Tincho will take this one and tee it up. And, a bit of a crosswind today, so maybe not coming around. They're going to mix it up here a little bit. Sometimes Roofy, and it looks like, they're going to go ahead and send everybody forward. It's going to be Rufino.
Merlos gets things underway. Let's look at the clock. 3:47 left to play, or 44, I should say. In this, the penultimate 5th chukker. Coming hard down the line was Santos. Once again, Tincho. Yeah, a little bit unlucky there for Harrison Reicher. He would have liked to have had another chance, but that ball just did not lie where he needed it. And Nacho Figueres just taking his time, making sure that he plays it to somebody who is maybe not quite marked as much as he would have liked, because it would be nice to see this momentum turn into possibly a lead. Santos now. Yeah, nicely done. Tincho clearing the way for him. Still Santos Merlos. He's getting in within shooting range or distance of that goal mouth. Now it's passed back over to Tincho, back over to Santos. Second attempt, trying to take the scenic route round the outside of all those defenders. In comes Nacho Figueres. And here comes the attempted underneath. There wasn't that much of an angle, but still not straight enough to get a score.
Well, you wore me out there for a bit. I was getting tired. Santos going round and round and round and round and round. But not much room to shoot there. He tried to get a little help from his Uncle Tincho, and then he got to the outside. He actually got to a good spot. And, a nice attempt as he'll fire that one off, and that'll take us to our courtesy change here in the 5th chukker with 2:25, 7-7. Yan. two very strong chuckers, but more importantly, 3 goal shot penalties given up by the windswept team here in the second half, and that's what's hurting them. That they fouled too many times in the vicinity of the area where the umpires can move the ball to either a 4-3 or 2, and Artemio was 100% on the short ones, Camacho on the long one.
Well, looking at my score sheet, Dale, it was in chucker number 4. It was in favour of Grand Champions Polo Club, 2-1 at the moment. It's 2-0. So if they keep this up, well, then they are on course for indeed turning this around, because it did, especially in that first half, very much look like windswept here and they were in control. So hats off and a big compliment to Grand Champions Polo Club, Artemio, Fran, Nacho and Tomacho, the way they've kept their composure, kept the high level of concentration going throughout this game. And as we say back home, Dale, some things just take their time in coming through. You know, good things come to those who wait.
Yeah, I got a feeling these next 2 chuckers, so here you're going to see these last 3 courtesy change. Well, we have our last courtesy change in the 6th, but I have a feeling that the horsepower is going to step up here in the 6th chucker. This chucker's been everyone very well mounted, but the 6th chucker, and I think that's where you're going to see, we're going to see the best playing pony for this game anyways come out of that chucker with 2:11 on the clock now, to be precise. 2:11, 7-7. Anybody's ball game, man. Anybody's match, yeah. It's been a roller coaster.
Indeed, it has been, and as you said, 2:11. Now I've got to ask you, Dale, there was always a number on the scoreboard back in last year.
When 13.
No, when you used to say "Good afternoon, Colorado." What was that number on the scoreboard?
Oh, 420. Well, we haven't been at 420 any lately, so we always say hello to Aspen, Colorado.
Yeah, because 2:11
special time, and also because when that's a great time in the game, because it's right after the courtesy change, and everybody's on fresh legs, and you usually see a lot of energy in that 4th minute.
So players slowly but surely, I think they're all back out on the field. 1, 2, 3, 4 Blues, just still waiting for half of the Merloses. One's already out there, as is Harrison Reicher.
Yeah, looks like we might be having, this is it's an opportunity. Like I said, you might see some switching around horses. And that's what's so big about the courtesy change. Yeah, and Steve and I, we talk a lot about it, the dynamics of how you need to add that into your game plan. Because with the opportunity of everybody to change and switch and take time. Now remember, you don't have to use the courtesy change if you don't. And also you can use the courtesy change. You can also change again on your own. You can do your own NASCAR change. So we don't take that out of the game at all. But like Steve says, also there's a lot of coaching going on during the courtesy changes. Now remember, we try to keep it under 45 seconds unless there is an issue with one of the 4-legged athletes, the 2-legged athletes, or a tack issue. But our goal is 45 seconds, and it is looks like, we're just waiting for Team Cho. Looks like you might have an issue down there. It is a tournament condition now with the United States Polo Association. And Yan and I were talking about it yesterday, and I always mention it. We always talk about the Triple Crown of racing. And remember, when you got the best thoroughbreds in the world running the longest race in the game, and that's the Belmont at they run in 2 minutes 25 seconds. So each chucker's 7.5 minutes long. We call a courtesy change at about 3:20, 3:50, right around anywhere between 3 and 4 minutes. And usually on a dead ball play. When I say that, I mean either a penalty shot or any time that the ball is in the umpire's hand or on a knock-in. Now, we have a lot of games, and we've seen a lot of games here on CTV Sports that are so wide open, and that's the main reason for the courtesy change, where they just run straight, 3 minutes straight. Remember I told you about the longest horse race, 2 minutes, 25 seconds. And that was set by a horse that they say had a larger heart and lungs and had a stride so long, Secretariat, ever, the longest stride of any racehorse ever. The year that a horse won the Triple Crown and set all those records. And also, Steve brought up this yesterday, probably polo's the most, well, probably maybe the most work a horse needs to do because we use all the disciplines. We use dressage, we use jumping, we use racehorse, we use cutting, stopping and turning. And a horse will get more tired stopping and turning.
Of course.
So, hence the courtesy change once again. And as you know, Jan, if you played soccer or football or baseball, you know, did you ever do suicides? Those are where you run and you stop, or wind sprints.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Okay, what did you look forward to them?
Love them, Dale. Love them.
And they usually happen at the end of practice.
Yeah.
All right, let's line up and do 50 wind sprints. You know, I always dreaded them, boy, but they make it happen. And that's what these four-legged athletes do. And that's why it's so important to be safe and make sure that we take care of these four-legged athletes.
No, and it's a great call, Dad. It's a great call, and you're seeing it more and more also throughout Europe now. At all the captains' meetings.
Yeah, it's spreading all around the world. And like I said, it's changed the game too because it gives players, it levels out the playing field a lot because you have an opportunity to rest your horses, and you have an opportunity when you can do that to play them 3 times. I mean, you can mix them up. And, because they get enough rest on the sideline based on the day, of course. It also is a great time to use the courtesy change in places where you play where it's very hot.
Yeah.
You know, you have some places in the nation that's hot, that the weather can get a little hot. Sometimes down here too, sometimes. And so here we go. So we are going to get a replacement. So that was our wait. We were sorry about that. We just got the word from the mountain officials. It looks like Rufy's going to sit down, or who's? Oh, Santos is going to sit down. Okay, so Santos. So interesting. So Rufy's okay. Santos must have a little issue. And who we got coming in here? Oh, his brother Segundo. Well, I just saw his brother. So I knew he was here. So Segundo Morelos, he played in the 8-goal with Rufy. So they must tell they play a lot of pole. They're cousins once again. And here comes Tamacho.
Pierre is with a solid strike towards that goal mouth. Now then, can Fran Spinacci with a one-touch finish it? Oh, that was elegance in motion. Dale.
I told you, man. Let the kid get out in front and hit the ball. And here you go. As Fran Spinacci on the gray pony. A brilliant pass by Tamacho Pierres. I know Alfonso, his dad's at home watching now and saying, yeah, loving that. That's beautiful. It's a beautiful pass. He's done a great job facilitating the ball today. In many different directions, many different players.
Not only has he done that, Dale, he's actually put Grand Champions Polo Club into the lead.
For the first time, and what a perfect guy to do it. Fran Spinacci, the smallest and youngest player on the field today as we come to a stalemate, and it's going to be Tincho.
Morelos on the halfway line. Just dispersing all of his attackers. Now then, Segundo, that's the man who's just come in for Santos. Easy recognizable with the green helmet. But Tincho is still in possession, just wanting to create a bit more space for himself. And as much as young Fran Spinacci is good at scoring goals, he's also very, very good at being a defender. But now then, Tamacho Pierres, this could seal the deal. Oh, he slightly cut it a little bit too fine. We've had the horn, or the hooter, as it's sent back by Nacho Figueres. Figueres tries to get that ball out of that divot. Once again, on the move, windswept. Yeah. Short-lived as it's sent back. Now then, Nacho Figueres. Little deflection. He got lucky. Nacho Figueres really working very hard. He just ran out of time, and that will be all they played for. So what a turnaround. Well, you could feel it coming, Dale. And Grand Champions Polo Club, not only did they win the last chukker 2-1, they've won chukker number 5, 3-0, bringing the overall tally of 8-7 in favour of Grand Champions Polo Club. Make sure you don't miss any of the action when we come back right here, CTV Sports, for chukker number 6.
Well, here you go, 6-chucker action, and this has been amazing. Like I said, 3-1 to start it off. GCPC with a goal on handicap. 4-3 though. Windswept took it back after the second, and then they went into the 10th, 6-3. And I don't know how you feel about that, Jan, Eric, Frank. But I would feel happy up by 3 goals. And especially with Harrison Reicher scored 2 of those goals. Harrison just having a great first half. And Rufy looks like he's okay, Rufino, and that's a big plus. He had a little spill earlier, but he's all right. We have a replacement.
Yeah, Segundo Merlos.
Segundo Merlos, yeah, came in for his brother Santos. Yeah. And it's, I guess, Santos' shoulder. He's been a little injured. He actually entered this game with a little bit of injury. Tincho's played with all of them. Of course, that's his cousin, or his nephew, I'm sorry. And Segundo is Santos' brother. And, of course, being his brother is Sabi's son and Sylvina's son. So, again, the Merloses have a whole crew down there. They actually have so many Merloses here today, they're taking over the Obregons. It used to be all Obregons, now it's all Merloses. So, and they spread them out well, but now they got to come alive here because, on the stats here, 5-1, Yan, in the two chuckers here, and they outscored them 3 unanswered goals in the 5th chucker. So the Windswept has definitely lost their offensive attack, or the Grand Champion Polo Club has definitely figured out how to shut it down.
So that will only mean one thing, Dale. It's make or break time now. Can Grand Champions get this over the finishing line? Or will, which is my hunch, I don't know why I've got this hunch, will Windswept now come back very, very strong here in the 6th and final chuck. And, of course, we wish Santos all the very best with his shoulder. I hope he doesn't have too much of an injury on that shoulder. But once again, Grand Champions shutting down the spaces very, very tightly here. And here we go then. Clear run to goal. He's going to leave that one behind. Raja couldn't get to it. In comes Segundo. He hammers one. Should have maybe taken it a little bit slow, and that would have gone through, and that would have been the equaliser. But Grand Champions Polo Club very lucky they're dodging a very, very big bullet.
Yeah, and this is what Windswept needs to do, come out strong here early. As they said, they've been a little lackadaisical here in the 4th and 5th chucker. And Tamacho, he's been pressing the seam, trying to get it down here, let the young kids pull the team. And here they come flying in, and he looks like he's going to be a part for Fran, but turned around now by Rufy.
Merlos, of course, leaves that one for Segundo. Segundo being told, taco, meaning control the ball. Trying to avoid the challenge. Once again, Tincho could not get his shoulders in situ to open his... to open them up for a shot on goal. Nice bit of defending play here by Nacho Figueres. And he'll be thinking, let's just clear that ball. But umpires have said, you need to get out of the way. Tincho takes a shot. A good 40, 50 yards out there. And Tincho, Merlos, I had a feeling, I told you, Dale, the equaliser, 8 goals apiece.
Yeah, Merlos to Merlos. And, father or son working well together there. It actually was Rufino who worked that ball down. And just went to the control. It just shows you how this one goal, and they have the ability, not to try to run it any further down into the coffin corner, slow it up, and then just bad luck here because Nacho was on the near side, and Tincho, just being a former Tango player, he just went to go meet him. And so I like them letting them play there because the way that play developed, and Tincho just takes his time. Fires it from about 50 yards out and gets the equalizer here as they'll be turned around here and controlled by Windswept.
It looked like Nacho was nearly on course to once again restore that 1-goal advantage, putting his team back in the lead. Wasn't to be. They are still in Windswept territory. Oh, cheeky steal there by Tincho. Now, Tomacho needs to be careful not to cross that line. He did well getting out of the way, but that ball didn't go anywhere. Now Tomacho could do something with it. Little attempt there under the pony's belly by Fran Spinacci. Once again, Nacho Figueres. There's the pass. He's going to try and put this one and sink this one himself. It just goes wide. So pressure and power play here from GCPC.
Yeah, he has been hitting the polo ball very clean. Don't get me wrong. I watched these two guys, Nacho Figueres and Camacho Pierres, play all summer long at the Aspen Valley Polo Club. And they are both playing very, very well, hitting the ball very deep. And what I love about that is they're getting Artemio and they're getting Fran in the game, and that spreads out this windswept team. This windswept team, sometimes they'll get going and they're like the Merlot's tornado out there, and Harrison will just bounce right off them. He'll either play defense or he'll play offense. He does a great job reading the play. When they spread them out, I kind of like the way the team plays. I think they play better when they're spread out, and that's when Harrison is pulling the ball, and I think you saw that in the first half. But now, Grand Champions Polo Club team has gone to hitting the ball deep, bringing in the young Polo Stars, getting them, and look at what happens. You get Fran a ball out there, boom, he smacks one in from 30 yards out. And right here, I believe Tincho was actually shooting. Pierres, Camacho was actually shooting that goal. He was shooting a goal there. He must have had a great look at that goal from 80 yards out, because that ball was hit very clean and hard, and you can see where that ball has been put. I think it was even closer to that. Remember, if it's anywhere less than 10 yards from the goal post, the goal, our flag judge, our goal judge, will put the ball out 10 yards to give the player and the four-legged athlete room to work. So if it goes out a foot from the post, they will move it out. That is a procedure and a rule in the game of polo. Here we go. It looks like we got everybody back. This 409, 8-8.
And possession, of course, for Windswept. I've heard the umpire call play. Here we go. Ball is back in play. Tapped in by Segundo Merlos. Now then, it's make or break time. 4 minutes still left to play on the clock here in Chucky number 6. And Segundo will have another crack at this if he can, but it's Nacho Figueres who stops everything over at the halfway line. Segundo sticking with him. Nice little stick work here by Nacho Figueres. Oh, cheeky little steal. Very cheeky little steal. And Rufino. You did mention this, Dale. You did mention this. Clearly no respect for anybody out there. Doesn't matter how much of a handicap they have. And that's just a little bit too steep of an angle. Again, not much in it there. Segundo found himself in the right place. Just a little bit unlucky not being able to put it through the posts.
Yeah, we're looking at some very strong young players here, with Rufino on 1 goal, Harrison Reicher, an A-rated player, and Artemio, A-rated also. Just Franz Panacci also. I mean, these kids are just playing great polo back and forth. Round they go here. They're going to turn the corner and win this one. Windswept, keeping the pressure on. This is going to be Tincho. He looks like he's mounted up to Chucker. Great read by Camacho, though. He's going to look and find, well, the dynamic duo of Camacho and Nacho. Now, forget us. Look at right back to Camacho. I told you they'll look at each other like in the chestnut mare. Camacho needs to get around Rufino on the big gray pony with a lot of power. Left in there controlled. Look at Rufino. He says, I got it, Dad. Get out of the way. I'm going to get it. Oh, we got a true breakaway. Here comes Segundo.
On the move, Merlos. Yes, good first touch from him. Now then, can Nacho Figueres do enough to stop him from getting another touch? In he goes for the ride-off. Did very well. Once again, Nacho Figueres saving his team from getting another score, and this could be a break, another breakaway in Tux, or right behind Tux, Camacho Pierres. And it's a good job that he did. Once again, Camacho. Nacho now coming also back. He's got a lot of place to work with. Exactly. Time is of the essence here. Still plenty of time. 2 minutes and a few seconds on the clock. He had so much space there.
Bad luck there. That was bad luck. I don't think, I think the wind was blowing, and Camacho didn't hear Nacho saying, he was yelling to him to take his time, para, to wait. But he just couldn't hear him. I think the wind was blowing, so he went for a shot to Fran. Otherwise, they had the two big guns with nobody coming in from behind Nacho.
Yeah, big opportunity Not converted. So under a minute and a half left to play now here in Chucker number 6. Once again, good first touch here from Harrison Reicher, sent back down the field by Fran Spinacci. In comes Segundo Merlos. Hammers a little cut shot across, but gives it to the opposition. Reicher too far out to pick it up on the near side. Segundo back to where it started. Well, he's appealing. Saw a man with the number 2. It looked like Fran Spinacci came across that already established line by Segundo Merlos.
Yeah, running gun and play there earlier with Rufi and Tamacho. I think it might be one of the hardest plays in the game of polo, when you got a player coming from right to left and another player coming from the left to the right, and they come together there. And I think that's why it's a pretty good non-call, I would say, when Rufi comes in there to take that ball in front of Tamacho. Now, if Tamacho's 100% on that line, they're going to get that call all day long. But as they try to get 100%, then it's almost like two race cars, in the Indy 5 or any kind of racing, when they're trying to get that little edge of it coming in together, whether it's a safe play or not. Problem here is, Fran's going to come from right to left. That's a pretty easy call. And Segundo's going to ride it out, and he was inside the 60-yard line on that play. So they're going to drop this one at an open goal penalty 2. So here you go, 59 seconds on the clock, and 8-8.
Don't look at me like that.
I'm just looking at you. I know. Whoever, it doesn't matter if it's Ticho or Rufia takes it. They'll both got ice in their veins, but this is one of them big. This is why we say the penalty 2 is arguably the hardest shot in the game of polo.
And Tincho Merlos is the one who does what needed to be done. Tincho Merlos picking up his second goal here in this chucker. And the clock, of course, ticking down. We're down to 45 seconds and counting as they make their way back to the halfway line. But, you've got to give it to Grand Champions Polo Club, the way they played, especially in that second half. Absolutely fantastic polo. So the last few seconds, will they even get a chance to throw the ball in one more time? That will be it. No, it's not. Beg your pardon.
No, they'll play it out.
They will play it out.
Always play it out. Yeah, you got to play it out no matter what the score is, Jan. But this is a 1-goal difference, so we could get the equalizer here as the big shot here. Nacho going to the speed stick. But it's going to be, why not? Rufino, once again, perfect pass to his father, Tincho. And Tincho just needs to take one more shot at it. Bang, and that should go ahead as the clock goes tick, tick, tick. And that's going to end it, Jan, Frank.
So, in the nick of time, basically, they get the winner. They got the equaliser after Grand Champions Polo Club did so well coming back so strong. But it was a 2-0 in chucker number 6 in favour of Windswept. So the final score then 9-8. The players shaking hands. And I believe, Dale, you've got the end of match stats for us.
Yeah, Ned, Frank, well done as always, my man. Thank you so much. Well, a real close one here, 9-8. It comes right down to the end, but what a roller coaster of a ride. And we're probably going to see some similar stats. As we said, it was all Windswept at the beginning, and then the Grand Champions Polo Club just turned it on in the 4th and 5th. Shots on goal, 16 by Windswept, 11 by Grand Champions Polo Club. That makes sense. Knock-ins. And 7 knock-ins made by GCPC, 4 knock-ins taken by Windswept. So that's where the higher percentage shooting comes in for the Grand Champions Polo Club team in the second half, and hence them being a tied score until the last 30 seconds. But also those knock-ins, a lot of missed goals by Windswept, so they got to clean that up for their next game. Throw-ins. They're winning some throw-ins. I got 10 throw-ins for the Windswept team, 7 for Grand Champions Polo Club. Fouls committed, 8 by Windswept, 6 by the Grand Champions Polo team. So not too bad on both teams. That's not bad. Not bad at all. And then but penalty scored, 4 by the Grand Champions Polo team. So good shooting there, and 2 by the Windswept team. And, the biggest one of the day was right here at the end with Ticho Merlos. So 2 very strong 12-goal games. I hope you enjoyed them here on CTV Sports. Remember, join us at 3:30, where we'll be live from the Valiente Polo Farm on field number 1. For Jan, Eric, Frank, I'm Dale Schwetz. I speak for everyone at CTV Sports when I say thank you for making us leaders of polo broadcasting. And always remember, here at CTV Sports, we love the polo.